Well, folks, we're here for the final part in our three-part series on iDubbbz, as the Creator Clash team has dropped a brand new statement, once again attempting to clarify everything and put this whole situation to rest, but in the end just resulting in it getting even more convoluted, even more dramatic and crazy. And again, we're still like 3 weeks out. Do you really think iDubbbz and Anisa are gonna last 3 weeks of this pressure online to bring back the Froggy Fresh fight that everybody wanted to see? Like, are they gonna last?
I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, so far they've luckily kept it between where all the communication is coming out of this account. iDubbbz has stayed like completely mute on it. I think Anisa's only made that one tweet that we showed in the last video, but I feel like something's going to come out. Someone's going to say something somehow. I mean, this might not be actually the last video we make on it.
Well, I always like to, because people, get on us for milking the topic and stuff like that, but there's new stuff to cover.
Yeah.
I just don't see anything happening beyond this, surely. Right guys?
Yeah.
Of course not. So let's get into this statement, because it actually caused way more harm than it set out to solve. As you may be aware, we recently announced Froggy Fresh would be leaving the Creator Clash 2 ticket. Leaving. Okay, you fired him. We want to provide some additional information around the rationale for this decision to help clarify some of the online chatter. We have a legally binding code of conduct that each of our Creator Clash 2 fighters are held to, the violation of which is grounds for termination. Unfortunately, there were several violations made by Froggy Fresh during his tenure with Creator Clash this year. The Creator Clash 2 team, inclusive of the production company, takes violations seriously and made several unsuccessful attempts to address them directly with Froggy Fresh in the hopes that we could work together to get things back on track. When it became clear that the exhibited behavior wasn't stopping, at risk to the other fighters, fans, and others involved in the event, the Creator Clash 2 team made the collective decision to move forward without Froggy Fresh on the ticket. Our number one priority is ensuring that Creator Clash 2 is a positive, safe, and welcoming space for everybody. We look forward to kicking off an amazing event and raising a lot of money for charity. Creator Clash and iDubbbz have already donated $50K for each of Froggy Fresh's supported charities, Kids Cancer Foundation and Nicholas Children's Hospital, for a total of $100,000. They will also remain beneficiaries of the money raised throughout the event itself. The fighters have been working so hard and can't wait to get into the ring. Let's focus on their fights, not any that may exist online. Creator Clash 2. So this statement just confuses everything. First of all, they make several lies here, saying that he broke a legally binding contract and that they tried to reach out to him multiple times. Really? Because I looked up Froggy Fresh's statements, and his statements actually clash with Creator Clash. Who tried to reach out to me several times, and what are the several violations?
Yeah, that's another thing they said, is that he made like several violations of breaking this contract. And we were confused in every episode. We were like, could it be hanging with Sam Hyde? Like, is that a violation?
Yeah, what happened?
What is the only one we could find was maybe the OF comment, which is like, okay, one, talk to him.
Yeah.
I don't understand. What is the several violations?
He continues saying, are you talking about when Ian called me for the third time ever, 15 minutes after Sam Hyde retweeted me, to investigate my friendship with Sam Hyde, and then asking that I don't release any content with Sam Hyde until after the event? Haven't released any Sam Hyde content, still kicked.
So the thing that's so weird to me is Ian calling him up and investigating him for his relationship with Sam Hyde. Like, that sounds insanely insecure. He's like, hello? What's your relationship with Sam Hyde? Is he gonna he's gonna try to fuck Anisa? Like, can we stop doing this, please? I don't understand what his point is there. Why is he so mad?
Why does it matter?
Yeah.
Or are you talking about me responding to Justin Tracy every time you reached out to me, and me asking that we keep everything in text and email so I could have evidence of everything that was communicated? Never received any texts or emails after that.
So they wanted to keep everything where there was no like paper trail of it.
Cool.
Cool.
I was never given any notice of violations. I got one email minutes before you went public about my termination. Justin Tracy called me while I was in Providence working with Sam. I asked that he could text or email me as I was busy training with Sam. He never texted or emailed.
That's so weird, because like this is really a sign of, I don't think anyone's even pointing this out, but this is a sign of malicious like attempts, because usually in business you want to keep a paper trail of everything. You want to keep everything to text, you want to keep everything to email. When you keep things to calls and stuff that can't be recorded, or like face-to-face contact, then you can easily lie about what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
So when Froggy's like, let's keep it to text and email, let's keep it to text and email, and then it never happens, then whatever iDubbbz and Creator Clash are doing behind the scenes, it can't be traced back to them. Like everything that they're doing, maybe to violate the contract or like screw them over, he can't have physical proof of it.
Yeah, they can use anything he writes or anything he says in like the call or whatever. They can just manipulate that, lie about it, because he's not going to record them or whatever. Recording them could be a violation of the contract anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. It makes total sense why they don't want to,
keep a paper trail.
Yeah, exactly. But he continues here. Now I've been threatened with a potential lawsuit if I spoke about this entire mess and demanding the $15K I used for training, equipment, travel, etc. over the last 5 months. Unbelievable. Is this for charity or what's going on? So yeah, to the guy in the comments that was mad that we covered a rumor on our first video, yeah, well now it's the news. Okay,
Yeah.
so get caught up, buddy.
Yeah, learn to read and learn to follow the news. We know what we're talking about. You don't know shit. But no, I'm curious. So when he says he's been threatened, do you actually know, like, did he get like a DM from someone or something? Or is this...
No, I don't know the details of it. I was just told the same rumor, like when the drama initially broke out and then later it became news.
Okay.
But I don't know any of the details. And I mean, I shouldn't know any of them anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if he's saying this publicly, if he was lying about that, that would be a pretty big thing to lie about. So,
which is just absolutely crazy. But somehow, even with this just flawed statement that just makes so many just vague lies and just barely addresses anything, there's still dumbasses that are actually baited into believing iDubbbz and Anisa's bullshit. This is like someone that Froggy Fresh retweeted that I happened to see on the timeline. Dog, I was with you for a bit, but your behavior since hasn't been the best. You both could have handled it better, and I feel like you keeping this going is making it worse, as well as the people you choose to associate with. It's tough. They kicked you with all the hard work you made, but the choice... What? This guy, I can't even read what he's saying because he uses no punctuation. The choice to do what you did, and it was the consequence. Stuff happens. It sucks, but you don't gotta try to change the event or have people beg to get you back on walking away. I'm dyslexic. I can't fucking read this guy.
I mean, he doesn't use punctuation. I have to beg people to get back on. Walking away is better, IMO. All this stuff you're doing isn't a good look and not a fan after your actions.
Really?
This guy can't even... I mean, this is the brain capacity of the people who are on the other side.
Yeah.
They can't type. They can't talk. They can't formulate a sentence. They have no idea what's happening. They just think that iDubbbz and Anisa are cool and awesome, and then Froggy sucks, and that's it.
And so I wrote him, I said, congrats, iDubbbz baited you into dismissing everything because it's toxic drama, dude. Yeah, because that's how you get yourself out of this, right? Make it about the charity, hone in on the charity point, make all the people criticizing you, oh, they're just obsessed with drama, they have no legitimate points or whatever, right? Right, guys?
Yeah.
So I was like, congrats, get baited. And then this idiot wrote me with the most ironic reply of all time. Aight, bud, sorry, I can think for myself.
Oh my God.
Really? You think you're thinking for yourself right now? That's hilarious. That is just amazing. And dog, you're wrong. Who started it? Look back. It came from Froggy and you mega missed what I don't even care what he has to say.
Yeah, it came from Froggy. Okay, bro.
Okay, bro. Now, Harley Morenstein has been just super hard playing defense for iDubbbz and Anisa. And, I don't blame him for, just having an opinion on the surface that's different from my own, obviously. But at this point, the charitability that I was willing to give to him in like our last video has completely gone out the window. I mean, this guy called into another Twitter space hosted by Keem last night to confront Froggy Fresh with tons of wild accusations of lying. And then when Froggy Fresh tried to respond, he ran away from the call. So since that whole situation, and don't worry, we'll play the clips in just a moment, but since last night, I have just fully been on board with the fact that Harley is absolutely coming at this in bad faith and trying to lie and just play just this weird sort of dishonest defense for iDubbbz where he just doesn't fucking deserve it, right? Now it starts with this fucking funny tweet, right? Where somebody wrote ratio to Keemstar, responding to fucking Harley. And then Keem blocked this guy and he's like, a crack in the armor? Keemstar blocks literally the one person in his mentions that doesn't suck him off on this subject.
I thought you were. Dude, I saw this like quote too when he said W at the block. I was like, oh shit, maybe this guy gave like a rational take against Keemstar. Maybe it's like, Keem, you have to look at it from this perspective and this is why this is this way. And the Keem's like, fuck you. Because that's the way he frames it. But then you click on it and it's just like
brain dead shit.
Ratio. And the Keem's like, go. Just get blocked.
Exactly. But this is Keemstar talking about his space last night. Harley says, sorry I spoke my chest and offered a different perspective for you guys. I'll let you circle jerk next time. Now, if you think that he called in to offer a different perspective, well, we'll get into that because he offered a completely retarded perspective and also dishonest perspective. I mean, he was not coming in here to ask good questions or, make us change the way we're thinking. He came in to ramble and spam a bunch of allegations against Froggy, try to throw him off guard guard and get him to say something dumb in response and then leave before Froggy could even address him, which is the most pathetic beta male shit that I've ever seen in my life. You know, you're gonna go in there, confront a man, and then run as soon as he opens his mouth. It's pathetic. If you think the way that I'm describing it sounds bad, it's worse when you listen to the context. So before we get into the Twitter space though, Harley did reveal the part of the contract that Froggy allegedly violated. So finally, some sort of clarity here, right? Fighter agrees, represents, and warrants that he and his accompanying personnel shall conduct themselves in conformity with public conventions, morals, and standards of decency, and not do or commit any act or do anything that could degrade themselves, the broadcasters, the site, event sponsors, the event, or subject any of them to public hatred, contempt, scorn, ridicule, or disrespect, shock, or offend their patrons or employees, prejudice their standing in the community, or subject them to liability. A breach of this provision shall entitle the event to terminate its obligations under this agreement. Now, call me absolutely insane here, but I read this and I don't see any part where Froggy violated this.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, this almost sounds like they're talking about like label or like, you know what I mean? Like sounds like a legal term. Like if you write like a contract saying someone is like a child rapist, like, okay, then you're kicked off. If you read an article saying that iDubbbz like fucks kids and it's like, yeah, you're gone. But that's not, is this really that serious? Like the little comment he made. Also, I just read this tweet. I actually hadn't read it word for word. This isn't the exact contract. He's basically saying it's pretty much like this. He's like, I found something online. It's basically like this. This is kind of what it says. This isn't actually the word for word contract. So he's basically just like, he basically just screenshotted a text that said, you can't talk about the owners. And then it's like, here you go. It's
okay.
Like,
what does that mean though?
That doesn't mean anything to me. That doesn't show anything. That doesn't prove anything. You're just.
Yeah, this is just an empty statement.
Yeah.
So let's get into his Twitter space shenanigans from last night.
Like you said, Keem, I'm not the mouthpiece of the event. I just sit here and I listen to you guys talk sometime, and I'm like, is this some sort of weird exercise in nonsense? We're acting like
we're the nonsensical ones here. Okay, buddy.
No, the guy behaved himself poorly. He did. Yes, I went and trained with Sam, and I know that they're not friendly. But when I came back, I didn't diss the owner of the event who has bad blood with Sam. And Froggy stated himself.
Who cares? Am I supposed to? Why does that matter? Who cares?
Yeah.
Grow some nuts.
We're 4 days into this and we're still acting like Froggy said something horrible.
Yeah, I mean, look, Harley's been on a Twitter rampage, dissing on everyone, shitting on everyone.
He's replying to every single person that disagrees with him right now on Twitter.
Last Critter Clash, he called his opponent like a furry fucking pedophile, basically. I mean, not exactly, but he called his opponent and all his fans furry losers, retards. He said, I'm going to beat you into the, like, he's talking shit. That's what you do. It's not. Why are we still framing this like this was some horrible, horrific thing that Froggy Fresh did 4 days into it? Why? Who fucking cares? Go back and watch the clip again. This is not this fucking serious. But he's on a Twitter fucking rampage over it and just crying constantly. You talk shit. You said something bad about the creator. You acted poorly. Bro. Okay. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, bro.
You're just retarded, bro.
Whatever, man. Now, this part of the call is when he goes after Keemstar. All right. So Keemstar makes some comment about how he supported Harley's previous fight, and Harley challenges him on this. And the reason why I want to play this is because it kind of reveals like a little bit of Harley's flawed thinking. I mean, this point that he makes is so easily disputed, but I'll play it right here.
Pointing that shit out.
Harley, I support Harley. Did I support your fight last year?
Really, you just need to be close to there.
Harley, did I support your fight last year?
It's a big boxing conversation that you want to be a part of.
Did I support your fight last year?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay,
right?
Thank you.
Right? What'd you do?
I rest my case.
What did you do?
What did you do to support it?
So
what did you do to support it?
This.
You put a like on a tweet? What did you do to support it?
He put a like on a tweet.
That's what I did. I put a like on a tweet, guys.
What did you do to support the fight, Keem?
I like tweets from multiple accounts.
Literally, from a drama alert and a Keemstar account. What did you do to support the fight? What are you talking about?
Can
I
sorry,
quantify what you're
Is
talking
there
about?
any credence to the lawsuit thing? Are they trying to get money back from Froggy Fresh? Are they trying to get that $15K back? Are they going to do anything legal?
It'll go back. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Normally, it's like,
can we let Froggy answer that question, Harley?
But Froggy doesn't have any answers. When are you going to figure that out, Keem?
So, okay, so here he says flat out, like he doesn't even want to hear from Froggy. He has no answers. And this is after like 10 minutes of just berating him with questions nonstop.
Yeah.
He doesn't have
No,
the
Harley,
answers
I
you
try to
want.
address like you make 4 points in a row and then don't let nobody address nothing, dude.
Okay,
so, like,
well, how did you support my fight, team? Hilarious thing to say. How did you support it?
Well, then we're gonna go right into the lawsuit. But yeah,
We're going right into it. Here we go, fellas.
So Harley, you don't remember me like putting out all those tweets and like, you know, cheering for you, saying that
Thank
you're
you.
like back, Epic Mealtime's back, hyping you. You don't remember any of that?
Yeah. I do.
Is he getting like hard right now? What the fuck is that? Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. I do remember that now. Oh my God. Yes. It's like, what am I listening to?
What the fuck?
Okay.
That was cool, but like,
Well, that's what I'm
what
talking
am I
about.
supposed to do? Be like, oh yeah, so Froggy's allowed to call iDubbbz the pimp.
No.
Stop!
Stop. You're losing the conversation. You said Keemstar is here because he represents a rival boxing event. I responded by saying
Did you offer me a boxing contract after
yes.
my fight?
Yes, I did.
So was there not a vested interest in supporting my fight?
Okay, so this kind of ties into one of the arguments he makes trying to defend iDubbbz and Anisa, where basically he's saying the reason why Keemstar's stirring the pot so hard, covering this and covering it very negatively against iDubbbz and Anisa is because he runs a competitive event to iDubbbz, and so therefore Keem has vested interest in making his competitors look as shit as possible, basically, right? And he's using the example of Keemstar talk about, you know, specifically supporting his fight. It's like, well, yeah, you supported my fight, but that was only because you wanted to sign me to your event. The problem is that Keemstar doesn't fucking run his own boxing event, all right?
Yeah.
He runs Happy Punch, which signs other fighters to other, like, cards. Like,
Yeah.
Keemstar signs people to KSI's card. He tried to sign people to Critter Clash, but they didn't want to work with him. Right? He signs people to all kinds of different random cards.
He's like the middleman. He's the guy who communicates with the boxers and the events.
Yeah.
He's the guy in the center. He's not another event who's trying to steal Harley away
there's no
or something.
Keem Clash. That doesn't
Yeah.
exist, all right?
No.
Keem just signs people. And why is it even like a bad thing either, right? Like, why is it bad for Keem to cheer on an opponent he thinks might be interesting or entertaining or whatever and then offer him a contract? Actually, isn't that a good thing? Right? But Harley twists that as if Keem is some sort of conniving sort of businessman trying to give him a juicy contract for a fight that would give him money and exposure. Like, why is that bad?
Yeah.
Why is that a bad thing? You know? But he also, in doing so, misunderstands what Keemstar is, what he's doing, and what iDubbbz is and what he's doing. iDubbbz runs an event. Keem doesn't run an event. He just signs people. So it just fundamentally shows Harley's misunderstanding of what he's talking about here. Now, this call ended just a few minutes later with Harley storming off the call, leaving Froggy high and dry.
Jesus Christ, dude. How's he going to make like 6 points and I'm just sitting there waiting for him to get done talking? My God. So now he don't even want to be here to defend himself because now I got to read the tweet.
Hey, Froggy, he said his piece and now he said peace.
Bro,
He left the call.
Yeah. He just dipped.
He left the call. As soon as Froggy opened his mouth to address some of the points, and I understand that, you know, Harley was accusing Froggy of lying about all kinds of stuff. Lying about the communication he had with iDubbbz, lying about being sued or whatever. Like, Harley called in basically to say that Froggy was a liar about every single aspect of the story, and then left as soon as Harley opened his mouth to speak. And so, yeah, the stream went on for like another 2 hours or something, but it just kind of left everybody sitting there like, okay, well, the main guy defending iDubbbz and Anisa isn't even willing to hear him out, openly admits he has no interest in hearing the guy out. So what the fuck? What's going on here, right? And Harley calls in and he tries to say that, oh, it's not like iDubbbz and Anisa are sending me here. They would actually hate me being on the stream because I'm talking about it, right? But just that sort of preemptive open just makes me think that he's kind of full of shit. And that's exactly what he's doing here. He is being sent here.
Yeah.
But that's just my brain. Maybe I'm conspiratorial, crazy Alex Jones of commentary or something like that. I just don't really think it's that crazy to think that.